Hey guys, this is Puneet Rastogi, the founder of CryptoCrunch, one place where all the crypto investors and traders turn out for more knowledge and higher profits. In this video, I will be discussing about a controversial meeting, a meeting between Security Exchange Commission SEC and CFTC in United States, wherein the outcome would be decided whether Ethereum should be considered as a security or a commodity. Let's find out how this information or how this meeting can be a game changer for cryptocurrency as a whole. So I understand that there are a lot of regulatory meetings which are going around all over the world, and people are concerned about cryptocurrencies as a whole. But this meeting, as I keep on saying, guys, can be a game changer for cryptocurrencies. Why? Because if this meeting can be very, very favorable for Ethereum, for Ripple, for ERC20 tokens, or it could be extremely detrimental for them. At the same time, when it's detrimental for them, it could be extremely beneficial for Bitcoin. So let's try and analyze both the sides of this argument or this meeting. Let's try and find out what the complete story or the controversy is all about. So guys, just to give you a background, the SECs or the Security Exchange Commission and CFTC, the governing bodies of securities in United States of America, will be meeting and discussing and most probably giving a verdict to consider Ethereum as a security or a commodity. They will be meeting on 7th of May, which is the Monday. So the expected outcome should be somewhere in Monday afternoon. Now, the controversy is basically that in April, one of the former CFTC chairmen stated that Ethereum and especially Ripple both should be considered as securities. The complication starts that if we consider these cryptocurrencies as securities, then they are basically come in the bracket or come under the responsibilities and the jurisdiction of SEC. All the exchanges which are basically trading these cryptocurrencies will come under the jurisdiction of SEC. There are very strict laws and very strict regulations on such securities, which basically imply that while it was a security and being traded actively without any kind of licensing, the individuals, the exchanges, everyone is liable for severe fines. Okay. So on the other side of the spectrum is Mr. Joseph Lubin, who's the co-founder of Ethereum and an active member of Ethereum Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. Now he basically states that these claims are absurd and there is no way that Ethereum should be considered as a security, right? The Ethereum Enterprise Alliance altogether is reasonably confident about the same as well. So let's try and find out, we as an investor, how should we play the story? What are the expected outcomes on the Monday evening? Why is the market falling today? Let's try and find that out today. Right, guys. So let's first thing is what is the ex-chairman of CFTC stating? Now, Gary Gensler, the chairman of Commodity Futures Trading Commission under President Barack Obama and finance chief of Hillary Clinton in 2006 presidential campaign, he was hired recently by MIT, guys. That's Massachusetts Institute of Technologies, where in a lecture where he will lecture about the impact blockchain technologies could have on financial markets. Now, this gentleman is basically stated, and he told New York Times in an interview, that there was a strong argument for both Ether and Ripple, especially Ripple, being considered as a non-compliant security. Okay, guys. So this is the basic background of one spectrum. This is where these people are saying that this is basically a security. It needs to be under the CFTC and SEC regulations. And if it is true, it has a lot of implications. There needs to be a lot of regulation that takes place on all the Ethereum and ERC20 tokens and ERC20 token cryptocurrencies. So if tomorrow the announcement does come and which claims Ethereum to be a security, expect a major bloodbath in the market, guys. You will see a lot of money moving away from Ethereum and ERC20 tokens, flying towards other cryptocurrency, most probably something like a NEO, EOS. You never know, guys. As of now, EOS today also is an ERC20 token. Okay, so that I personally think NEO could benefit it. Bitcoin will definitely be benefiting if any kind of bloodbath happens tomorrow. Because usually what we see is there is a great deal of money which will actually exit cryptocurrencies altogether. But people who want to stay invested, will basically flock to safety, and safety in cryptocurrency basically implies to Bitcoin, right, guys? So, as I said, the other spectrum, Mr. Joseph Lubin and the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, so that should be EEA, guys. They basically say that we have spent a tremendous amount of time with lawyers in US and in other countries, and are extremely comfortable that Ethereum is not a security. It never was a security. Many regulators that matter understand what Ethereum is. So they have a argument that Ethereum is basically mining based coins. There is a proof of work mining which is happening for these coins, and they are utility tokens, guys. They basically claim that it is not a speculative security. They are basically a medium of exchange for computational power. So that's their argument, guys, and which according to me is pretty valid as well. So this is the other, if you go to Reddit, if you go to internet, you will find massive arguments, and all those arguments make sense from both the sides. People who are claiming that it's a security, people who are claiming that's not a security. There are very, very valid arguments. There are historic cases that have been discussed. Howie's law is one thing that you can read about. So there are a lot of things which are going around in the market and the internet today. Let's see how we as an investor, or what I would be doing tomorrow. Let me discuss that in the next slide. Okay, guys. So what I think is, if tomorrow Ethereum is declared as a security, it will come under massive jurisdiction laws and massive regulations. Once it goes under the bracket of jurisdiction of SEC, and you can expect a massive bloodbath. A 40% downfall is what I think in Ethereum and ERC20 tokens. Now, this is one very interesting argument that I read on Reddit actually, where the people who say that Ethereum is not a security, they basically are giving an argument that Ethereum was never in an ICO kind of model, right? Which basically means that even if Ethereum, so by this argument, even if Ethereum is not a security, all the securities or all the cryptocurrencies rather who had an ICO kind of model of investment would probably come under the bracket of securities. So that is one thing that I personally found that argument to be flawed. But as I said, if tomorrow Ethereum is declared a security, or if the verbiage of this discussion, even if an outcome doesn't come tomorrow, but a verbiage, whether they're going to have a hawkish view or a dovish view, what they're going to speak about these things, about the cryptocurrencies, Ethereum, Ripple, whatever they speak about, a lot is going to impact the market tomorrow, because you'll see the smart money flowing away from these cryptocurrencies altogether. So expect a bloodbath in Ethereum, Ripple, ERC20 tokens. But as I said, you can expect BTC to climb tomorrow. That is, if the money is not exiting cryptocurrencies altogether, you will see flock to safety, which is the BTC, Bitcoin. Another important thing is, what I personally think is, US is gradually losing its influence on the cryptocurrency world altogether. And if tomorrow there is some kind of announcement about ETH to be a security, you can basically see that Ethereum is not going to die, guys. The whole point of cryptocurrency is that it transcends borders, it transcends countries. So Ethereum will simply relocate its places, as it is. The presence in United States is very minimal. People in United States are not allowed to invest in ICOs from quite a long time. So what I personally think is, American exchanges are the one that are going to bear the brunt. Expect massive fines on them. So I was reading an article where it said that fines in tunes of $7,500 for individuals, to all the way till several hundreds of thousands of dollars for institutions can be levied as of today. These all the exchanges which are holding Ethereum or ERC20 tokens, or which are basically a medium of exchange for these tokens, will need to cease their operations immediately. They will have to pay fines. They will have to get regulatory licenses before they can actually start exchanging these cryptocurrencies. So it will be a huge loss to American economy or America as a whole. And that's the reason I don't think that tomorrow, personally, I don't think that Ethereum will be announced as a security tomorrow. This could be a logical argument, or this could be a little biased argument. I'm not really sure, but I honestly have a hunch that it's not going to be a security announcement tomorrow. Even if there is a hawkish view that comes across, a verdict of Ethereum being a security, I highly doubt it's going to happen tomorrow. Right, guys? So, one thing is, as an investor, you basically should move away your cryptocurrency, especially your Ethereum based tokens or Ethereum from US exchanges, which are Bittrex, Bitstamp, and other exchanges. That's one thing that I can think of right now. Uh, it will be a huge positive for the Bitcoin maximalists. People who are very pro Bitcoin will see massive influx of money in Bitcoin, because if Americans can't invest in ERC20 tokens and Ethereum, it will benefit basically everything else, right? So if they want to invest in cryptocurrencies, they're convinced that cryptocurrencies are here to stay. What is the next logical thing that you can think of out of Ethereum? Bitcoin, yes, is the first logical step, but at the same time, whatever has been diversified in Ethereum and Ethereum based tokens will flock back to Bitcoin, right? So that's the reason tomorrow, if it's a security, I think Bitcoin should rise, or in all the cryptocurrency market will fall, but eventually Bitcoin will rise. Or you will, if suppose it is considered to be a commodity or a not security, expect massive flow of money in Ethereum tomorrow. You will see great deal of money in some ERC20 tokens also. Again, depending on the verbiage, even if Ethereum is announced as a non-security, but they give some kind of indication that Ripple can be announced as a security, you will again see a massive drop in Ripple, and probably some of that money moving away from cryptocurrency altogether, and some of the money being redeployed into some other cryptocurrencies. So you'll see that kind of movement, guys. Okay. Now, even if Ethereum is not a security, it is not the end of the world. That's a very important point, guys. You'll see depreciation in Ethereum. You might see 30 to 40% downfall of Ethereum, but do not sell your Ethereum. Ethereum can move to Canada. They are already present in Canada. There's a huge news which is going around between Ethereum and Russia. I'm sure you guys have read about it or heard about it. Russia claims that what internet was to America, blockchain is to us. And Ethereum is basically becoming their favorite blockchain. So Ethereum is by no means is going to die. You will very soon see sharding coming up. You will very soon see Casper coming up, all plasma coming up. You'll see a lot of improvements in Ethereum. And if you've seen my channel in the past, or if you've seen some of my videos about Ethereum, I'll just connect one of them on the top. I'm very bullish on Ethereum, because that is one project that is working, and there are a lot of things which are using that blockchain. There are a lot of tokens which are using today, using that blockchain. They are not going to die overnight. Even if America ceases to accept Ethereum as security, firstly, yes, they'll undergo regulation, but they'll come above it. It'll take time. They'll take a hit, but it will be successful. And then the actual smart money can flow in legally in America as well. But let's say if we keep America aside, Ethereum is active all over the world, guys. Cryptocurrencies cannot be killed by a single country or a single community or a region, right? Its utility is there. People have already accepted it. There are multinational companies which are teaching Solidity as a language. So please, guys, understand this thing, that it's not going to be the end of the world. Please don't panic sell your Ethereum tomorrow. So finally, I've put across a list that you should be doing or you shouldn't be doing, to do or not to do list, I would say. So first and foremost, guys, keep calm. No matter what happens, do not listen to the rumors. Do not go blank or do something abruptly or something hastily and that you'll regret later. Do not buy or sell too much tomorrow. Try and avoid doing anything. Most importantly, guys, keep your cryptocurrency safe. If the worst is to happen and Ethereum is basically announced as security, you never know what's going to happen to the American exchanges. They might basically freeze trade completely until they get any kind of regulations. They might disallow any kind of movement of Ethereum or ERC20 tokens from them. So you never know. I mean, nobody can predict these things, guys. So always keep your cryptocurrency safe. Move your Ethereum or ERC20 tokens to MEW. You can move the other cryptocurrencies to Jax, Abra, Neon. I use all of them. So this is one suggestion that I'll say. If Ethereum booms, if it's not announced as security, you will see a massive gain in Ethereum and some ERC20 tokens tomorrow, probably even Ripple up to a great extent. I would suggest to book some profit, guys. whenever there's an irrational movement, eventually it will normalize. If Ethereum crosses its all-time high of 14, unlikely to do so, even if it's announced as a non-security. But if it does, definitely try and book some profit, guys. Always take home some profit. Avoid any kind of positions, be it in BTC, be it in Ethereum, be it in Ripple. Try and avoid any kind of new position tomorrow or something to play with this thing, because both the sides have very valid arguments. Anything can happen. Try and avoid trading too much, and definitely do not panic sell anything. All these three cryptocurrencies are here to stay. Relax, enjoy the ride. These things are going to come day in, day out. It will be US today, it will be Russia tomorrow, China day after. All of these things will continue to happen, guys. Relax, enjoy the ride. All these cryptocurrencies are here to stay. They're stable, fundamentally solid cryptocurrencies, guys. Okay. So calm down, relax, have a great day, guys. It's a very interesting and important day for cryptocurrencies tomorrow. It can basically take us to the next level altogether, right? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I have a lot of videos lined up this week, all important and crucial videos, fundamental analysis of several coins, um, much awaited pick of the month video as well. So I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day, no matter where you are. Have a wonderful morning, a great afternoon, or a wonderful evening. See you guys.